to all the dispossessed youth of Africa, for perpetuation of communion with ancestral spirits through the fight for African freedom, and in the firm faith that the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite to build the destroyed shrines. Selah. Hello and welcome, beloveds, to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki, here to report that Africa is truly awake. The ancient ones are back. The ancestors are back. So much is happening behind the scenes, beloveds, that this is the season that we must really stay watch, stay alert, and make sure that we're giving our petitions to our ancestors, the ancient ones, and, the Most High Creator, all of that, so that we can ensure that Africa's prophetic destiny is realized in our generation where we rule next. It's not something we've decided. It doesn't even look possible when you really look at it because we're underdogs, but there's so much happening. And this particular story was shared with me with someone from Patreon, and my Patreon family, thank you so much for supporting me, beloveds, and for enabling me to just continue to bring the message that is so necessary to our people at such a time as this. Basically, beloveds, this is epic, but it makes me think, like, what is really going on? And I think there are definitely two possibilities. I'd love to hear your comments in the, your point of view in the comments below, where France has actually pulled out all their military from West Africa. They have literally stopped their West African military mission, which has been going on for 8 years. This is quite unprecedented. Almost a decade after they, re-invaded Africa in a neo-colonial move, they've backed out. Now, is it because they've already removed all the things that they were removing in the Sahel desert with these massive military planes, allegedly? Or is it something spiritual, beloveds? Because I told you, they're getting ready for a UFO disclosure. And everything, what's going to happen now is they're going to try and smoke and mirrors absolutely everything. So that, they're trying to copy-paste every move that our ancestors are making and hijack what can't be hijacked. So why is France leaving? Is it because they've already left enough damage, or because the whole system is changing and the new world order is coming? They've trained up the armies are going to become the new police and the new police state system. Is that what's going on? I mean, we did see, beloveds, there's been a lot that's been happening in Mali, and protesters actually have been calling ever since June. They've been calling for, the French troops to leave, and some were calling even for greater Russian cooperation. But what is happening? Why is France leaving? Because what we have to do, and the reason I'm sharing these stories is from a totally spiritual perspective. So some will get it, some won't. But what's happening, beloveds, is like Babylon has never invaded Zion or Eden just to control the people. They came for something specific. They've been looking for specific things. And please watch my video on the 33 continents. They've been looking for gates to the fire nations, to the earth nations, to the water nations, to the air nations. And a lot of people have been asking me to do videos on the different nations. I will, definitely, as soon as the Spirit gives me the go-ahead. Because this is a spiritual show. I'm not just operating on what I feel I should say. But those are stories for other days. So activists in Mali, beloveds, from June were staging protests against the French military presence in Bamako, calling for the total withdrawal of French troops from the country. And then now, France just withdraws from West Africa. And by the way, the divided states just withdrew from Afghanistan, like in the middle of the night. Why are they withdrawing? Is it because they found what they came looking for? Or is it because something deeper is here? Beloveds, I told you they're going to be announcing the UFOs and trying to do like a UFO disclosure. That's why they want everyone on this on this planetary screen, so that they can control the minds and the narrative of the people. That's why there's so much censorship and everything going on right now. But what if France is leaving because our ancestors are truly back and our ancient ones are truly back? Because this is a retreat. But why are they retreating? That's why I say, beloveds, in all these situations, there is always something that we can do spiritually, and that is to speak. Because many of us have been praying for this and chanting for this, for France to remove their military. But let's hope that we should pray that the tree gets pulled out from with all its roots. Every single root gets pulled out. Every single root. But when I meditated on this, I felt that France is leaving because the ancestors are back. The ancient ones are back. Our spiritual rescue team is here. And many can feel it. Many can feel this kind of excitement, kind of, anxious excitement. Could I call it that? But this is epic. And what we need to do now is to direct the process spiritually, to assist the spiritual assistance we're getting by using our power here. We have the power to speak and to declare and to accept something, even just accepting something in your heart of hearts, knowing that they've left, but we pray for the complete departure and complete removal, and that the air, and that any, because sometimes I told you they play both sides. They are both sides. That anything connected to them is totally removed. These are the petitions we should be putting forth when we connect with our ancestors, with the Most High, in our daily spiritual walk, in our daily spiritual declarations, because this is absolutely huge for West Africa. So what happens to their puppets, beloveds? What's going to happen there? And I mean, at first people were saying that Mali's, the president was taken out. They were saying that the son was was like the neo-colonial puppet. But is there something more that I'd love to hear from my West African brothers and sisters? But one thing I know, we're dealing with a masterful trickster. And that's why even when they retreat, in fact, when they retreat, is when you pay attention the most. There's a word of wisdom that says, in your greatest celebration is when you should hold your sword. You don't relax. You don't just let it easy. But this is unprecedented. This is huge. Beloveds, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm telling you, the spirit of Independence 2.0 is spreading like wildfire across Africa. Tuko pamoja.